Hey everybody, Daniel Ramsey here, and I'm super excited because today we kind of have a different big data, AI, and not virtual assistants. So this is totally new. This is totally crazy. We've got Zach Younger here. He is a trainer for KW Command, and he has graciously decided to come on camera with us here at MyOutDesk today and give us a sneak peek into the product and why it exists.
Great question. So Command is a platform within Keller Cloud. And so Keller Williams set out several years ago to create a single cloud-based system for real estate. And the reason that we did that is because ultimately we know that big data and artificial intelligence is changing the real estate industry.
Right.
The real estate industry today is significantly different than the way it's going to look 6 months from now. And we believe the biggest driver of that is data, big data, and artificial intelligence. And so we created Keller Cloud and Command to give our associates, our agents at Keller Williams, a resource to take advantage of big data and artificial intelligence so that they can communicate with their clients on a one-to-one basis.
Yeah, and I get it. So will KW Command for the seller, let's say I sold a house 2 years ago, through my agent that's a KW guy, and I log back in onto the system, is that platform then going to pop information up that matters to me specifically?
Precisely. So the Command platform, we have both the agent facing version called Command, and then we have the consumer experience. And so that is manifest right now in a consumer app that a consumer could search for properties. And that's going to be rolling out a whole new experience this summer for Keller Williams. And so when a consumer that maybe bought a house a year ago, and they go into the mobile app and they start searching for homes, maybe they're just searching for homes because their neighbor's house came up for sale and they want to see the house value.
Right.
But then all of a sudden, your past client starts looking for homes in a community 6 miles away from their house. So the artificial intelligence behind Keller Cloud, which is called Kelle, could actually make a prediction based on the behavior of your consumer that they're more likely to consider selling their house and looking to buy a house in another location. And if we don't provide the consumer a channel to actually search for homes within the Keller Cloud, then ultimately the consumer is going to look on other resources like fill in the blank, Zillow, Redfin, any other website out there like realtor.com. And so our consumers are using these websites. And when our consumers use these websites to search for homes, these websites are actually tracking the consumer's behavior and making predictions as to when they might buy or sell. And so with Keller Cloud, we can now give the power back to the agent to know when to reach out to just the right people at just the right time.
Yeah. So, and KW's entire strategy is to say it's our data, our listing, you can't have it, and because we're going to leverage it. That's kind of the whole concept?
And it's not that other people can't have the data. We built Keller Cloud with open API so that other partners that have similar interests to support the realtor in a fiduciary relationship with the clients can actually plug into Keller Cloud and provide insights and take advantage of the arsenal of agents that are Keller Williams. What Keller Williams is clear about is not providing the user data or the agent data to third parties that will not commit to the data pledge, which is that the party cannot use the data that Keller Williams agents are providing against the agent or against their consumer.
Right. Well, and we're in this crazy industry where realtor.com actually used to be a platform owned by us.
Yes.
And then it got sold to a third party in a sweetheart deal. And now it's a huge company and we don't control our own data. So I totally get it. And maybe this platform could right some of that wrong that was done to us, 10 years ago. Okay. So if I'm a KW agent, I'm considering, KW Command and Kelle and KW Cloud and whatever else, right? You guys are cooking up over there. Why would I actually change, and why is it important to, why would I?
Yeah, great question. One thing that we know is that the consumer today is different than the consumer of yesterday, the consumer of 5 years ago. Consumers today expect an experience. Uh, our buyers, I hate to use the term millennials,
Yeah,
millennial buyers take up the vast majority of buyers and sellers in the real estate industry. NAR has stated that millennials are the number one group of buyers and sellers. In fact, California Association of Realtors says that up to 50% of all millennials that are going to buy or sell in 2019 are in California. And so
nice.
this is fascinating, really great information being from California, like yourself and myself.
Yes.
And both millennials, by the way, the second most popular buying generation is Generation Y, people younger than millennials.
Hmm.
And what we know about these generations is they want to be communicated with the way they want to be communicated with. And
Okay.
so they expect, if they like digital communication, if they want to be text with, then they expect to get a text message from their agent. They don't want an agent to call them and give them updates or send them an email if they're just going to reply back via text. And so as a Keller Williams agent, your opportunity within Keller Cloud using Command is what we would call one-to-one marketing instead of one-to-many. Every
Right.
platform out there that's been designed for real estate agents ultimately is a one-to-many platform, to where when I reach out to my entire database, every person in my database is getting the same canned email, the same canned response or message as it goes through.
Right.
And what consumers have told us is that they expect to be treated the way they want to be treated, not the way that me, the agent, wants to treat them. And
Right.
so using big data, artificial intelligence, a system like Command inside the Keller Cloud, we can actually get to the consumer the way they want to get to be spoken with.
Gotcha. Okay. So I'm a broker. Let's say I've got Follow Up Boss and Top Producer or Wise Agent or Lion Desk or any of them, right? I mean, there's a lot of them.
Hundreds.
And I'm been, in real estate like I have been for almost 20 years.
Yes.
And you're saying change.
I'm saying you have an option to change, and I think it is the right option. So let me go back to what you had said. You listed, 10 different CRMs in one breath.
Right.
And it's not just CRMs or customer relationship managers. We're using systems, one system to communicate with via email to internet leads, another system to communicate with our database. We're
Yep.
using another system to manage the transactions.
Yep.
We're using another system to create flyers and social media posts.
Yep.
And the problem with that is what we would call fragmentation. And so every agent has 10, 12, 13 different systems that they're logging into to manage their business.
Yep.
And it's just become normal for an agent to have to log into all these different systems. We don't believe that that has to be normal. We believe that an agent can have one individual login and use multiple different applications within that one platform that will all communicate, so that when you log in, if you want to create a Facebook post, for instance, that Facebook ad generator, or what we call Sketch House, can actually take the data right out of the MLS through an IDX feed and can create the Facebook post automatically. The AI, the artificial intelligence, can actually take the picture for the listing, can take the address, the price, and can create a Facebook post on behalf of the agent. And then you can also post that right to Facebook.
Right.
So having this one system logging in can ultimately reduce the clutter and what we believe increased fallout ratios, because of the ability of an agent to have to juggle multiple different balls with multiple different systems. And imagine how much gets dropped when you're moving a contact from one CRM to another CRM, and then forcing that agent, or excuse me, that customer then to log into another platform to see what's going on in their transaction. It's just not a great experience. And having everything in one platform, we believe, is the better experience.
Yeah, but is this KW Command? I mean, I want to be real, Zach, because I'm crazy, right? And the people that are listening to this, our clients, they're in the top 100 across the nation. I mean, we're fortunate to have some of the biggest teams out there in the KW brand. So is this going to be like the single sign-in API, KW Command, and KW Command just has an API with all these different systems, and or is it really your tech, really KW tech that's on the platform that is actually driving the automation and the AI and, like all of that?
Yeah, so the answer is yes, and. It is Keller Williams technology at the foundation of Keller Cloud and Command. However, it is absolutely open API. So if we have a top producing team or a mega team at Keller Williams that's using a resource that they just absolutely love, that company or that application, that service can actually plug into Keller Cloud so that an agent can have one individual login and continue using the system like BombBomb or MailChimp or other platforms, perhaps Mojo or a dialer. These can plug into Keller Cloud. And so while not all of the technology is actually built by Keller Williams, we have the platform that'll allow other third-party companies that can plug in, that agents can opt to use, as long as that company, of course, is okay with Keller Williams' data pledge, and that is that they're not going to use the agent's data against them.
Got it. What are some of the challenges if I'm buying what you're saying and I think, okay, because this is a big pain point. I was just helping a guy, I think they did $2.5 million in GCI, 40% net profit. They're running the KW model 100%. And we did an audit of their file, something that we do at MyOutDesk when you're a client. And we just audited their entire company. Like, what's their production compared to their competitors? What systems are they using? What processes do they have in place? What's their org chart? And literally, like, you weren't off. They had 13 different systems that they plugged into. And, we started looking at all their different websites and all their different stuff. And so if KW Command really does work and it becomes a single sign-on platform that drives it all, you'd be solving a huge pain point in the industry. My concern would be, and what I'd like you to answer is, like, if I choose to do this as an early adopter, what are some of the pain points I'm going to go through in order to jump on KW Command?
Yeah. To answer that, I'm going to circle back a little bit. I'd be willing to bet the team that you did the audit for also had at least one.
Yeah, there's 3.
Yeah. And so we believe that having one platform gives the agent the freedom to have quite possibly one administrative staff that is managing the entire operations within Keller Cloud and Command. And that will then free up their other 2 administrative assistants to spend more time as client care managers, spending more time reaching out personally to their database, communicating to their clients the way that people want to be communicated with. Now, to answer your second part of the question, which is what are the pain points in making the shift over to Command?
Right.
The first one, naturally, and at the top of everyone's mind, is anyone who's ever changed CRMs or changed a system that they're using in their business knows that there's a lot of pain in making a shift. It is not going to be, it's never easy to change from one system to another. That's the nature of the beast, because every system, every company out there that's providing some type of service to realtors, they intentionally want to keep the realtor in that system.
Right.
Make it difficult to get that information out. And then, of course, you need to take that information and, for instance, with Command, you'll want to export the information out of whatever product you're using, like Top Producer. And then you'll have to take all that data, copy it out of one spreadsheet, paste it into another spreadsheet, and really clean up that data. And to be perfectly honest, it is going to be, there's going to be pain around that. And there always will be. The promising part about anybody who comes over to Command is with our data pledge is if anybody ever needs to take their information out of Command, they can do exactly that. It is the agent's data. We believe their database is their business. And so we want to make it as easy as possible for an agent to be able to control their data and do what they want with it.
Nice. So, what's funny is this client who had 3 admin, they're hiring 2 of our virtual assistants because exactly that. They have all these dispersed systems. They're not using them all, and their 3 admin are overwhelmed and they need help. And you know, they need those admins to be more of a client care and do the most important work. So it's interesting that KW, I guess the concept is you guys are going to drive efficiencies by having a more integrated system so that the people that are currently on the team are doing more important, the higher value jobs.
Yeah, the good way to put that is Command is there to systematize all of the functionary roles that we do as an agent or that our team does for our clients, so that everybody on the team can focus on the fiduciary roles, basically taking care of the client at the level they deserve to be.
What's interesting is too, I mean, we talked about this. We're going to, as part of this, we're going to give away a CSV file, like a template. So if you are a team that is considering, you can see what it's like, whether or not you're going to need support from a company like ours to have a virtual assistant kind of clean up your data, or if, you know, there's a way to get it automated, right? And so you guys do have a connecting link, but there's the two pain points are getting the data out of the existing systems and into the new one, and then learning how to use KW Command. That's going to be a challenge. Are you guys suggesting that there's an admin for KW Command, or what does that look like in terms of what, like, is the existing admin just going to take over, or are you guys thinking that KW Command will need a dedicated admin who's just running that platform?
Great question. So every agent runs their business a little differently. We've actually had over 27,000 different agents that have plugged in and actually had a hand in helping develop Command. And what we found when we worked with 27,000 different agents on building Command is that they run their business 27,000 different ways. Every agent does it differently. And what we're not going to do is tell an agent how they need to run their business. If an agent chooses to do that themselves, they can do that themselves. We are providing resources for training, both on demand and live training with some of the top trainers across the country. That agents can actually learn it. And if an agent chooses to leverage a virtual assistant or a full-time staff member on site, they can leverage them and then empower them to learn the system and handle it for the agent. And so either way.
If I said, Zach, I'm buying everything that you're selling, I love you, I'm sold, I want to drink the KW Kool-Aid Command stuff, when should I, and what's the steps, and how does that look?
Great. So when? Today is April 2nd, and I throw that out there because when somebody's watching this video, it could be, you know, in June, in summer of 2019.
Right.
So the when is obviously a variable as to when somebody's going to watch this information. Currently at this time, first week of April 2019, Command is not ready for an agent to migrate their entire business away from whatever systems they're using and going exclusively over to Command. There's just several applets or applications within Command that are not ready to systematize an agent's entire business.
Okay, but hold on, because now you're making me, I got to ask questions.
Great.
So if I want, like I said, I'm ready to go KW Command, I'm ready to drink the Kool-Aid, when will this thing be ready to use? Give me the I'm a high D, give me the number.
Get ready now. Start getting ready. And do not leave any system that you're currently using as an agent, because we need to make sure that your business is taken care of. And because Command is not ready at this current time to run your entire business, keep using what you're using and get ready to get ready. Start getting your data into the spreadsheet for Command so that when you're ready to make the shift, make the jump over to Command, you will be ready to make that happen. And if I were to throw out a date, I would be just absolutely doing that, and that's throwing out a date. I would say you're looking at probably 60 days, end of May, early June, when Command could be fully functional, ready for an agent to be running their entire business. Could be sooner, could be longer. Okay,
so let's just say I'm going to spend Q1, you guys are telling people get ready. Q2, we should be getting ready of 2019. And Q4, would be my implement and get it into the system. So by 2020, I'm 100% ready to be running on that platform.
I would move that up a little bit. I hate to move up numbers or dates, but I would say Q3 using it, and by Q4 potentially running your entire business inside of Command.
That's cool. Okay,
quite possibly Q3.
Guys, if you're listening, thanks for listening. Zach is giving away the Get Ready CSV file, which gives you instructions on how to prepare. You've been super generous with us, and I really appreciate your time. I think this will help a lot of agents who are kind of on the fence, don't really know what's happening or what the time frame is. Zach, what's the one thing you want to leave people with from this call? And guys, we're going to do a couple more. Zach's agreed to come back and kind of help us integrate KW Command into your business and use a virtual assistant to do it, and how that's going to look and what we're going to do. So we're going to do a couple more of these, so there'll be more opportunities. But what's the one thing you want people to hear from this call?
One thing that Command will not do, one thing that big data and artificial intelligence, as far as I'm concerned, will never do, that is have a relationship with your clients. You as the agent, ultimately, people do business with people, not companies, not machines. And so your big takeaway is pour into your people. Build relationships, get eyeball to eyeball, belly to belly with your sphere of influence, with anybody you can about real estate. And just be prepared to have a system to help you get belly to belly and enhance that interpersonal communication. Because if you have a technology system that will actually tell you what to say, when to say it, that makes that eyeball to eyeball communication, that actual where business happens, that much more impactful, that much more powerful. So lean into your people, build relationships, stay in contact, because computers and AI is never going to do that.
Right. It's good. On our next call, guys, if you're listening, definitely download the CSV, but we're going to talk about the return on investment for a sphere of influence and a CRM. It's a whatever you're getting right now, KW preaches it's a 2 to 12 ratio. For every 12 people in your database that know, love, and respect you and maybe have done business with you before, you should get 2 deals from them in some way. And so a good benchmark to say for our next call would be like, okay, what does that actually look like? What does my return on my sphere look like? And how do I close those gaps? So we're going to likely talk about that and how a virtual assistant can help with that. But Zach, you've been amazing, very generous with your time. And you're one of, a small group of trainers within the entire company that is tasked to give this information. So we're lucky to just know you. And thanks again for coming on. And dude, you're awesome.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for allowing me to be here. And thank you for pouring into your clients and all the agents across the country, because I know that MyOutDesk provides just a valuable resource for many agents. You've created incredible resources for me personally in the past and currently do. So I really appreciate you. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Zach.
Cheers.